free college football picks. This is week 10, part 3. I'm Tony T here with our college football pick show here for Wednesday. Now, if you're looking for the Wednesday games, we shot a separate video. These will have 11 games from Saturday's action. We do these in parts to get them all done. Before we get started, just a couple of things. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have free college football picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports like NFL, like college football, like college basketball, NBA, World Series. Of course, college basketball is not too far away, making a great time to subscribe. And also, if you would support our channel, give us that like, that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. Remember, visit our site, Tony'sPicks.com. We're a multi-capper site showcasing top cappers from our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers. Get signed up to our long-term passes. Hot cappers for the year like Joseph Schultz, Ramon Scott, Chauncey's been on fire. Hollywood Sam, last 30 days, has been on a tear right now. You can see there, as well as Nick Vartini. Click the links. Get signed up to our long-term passes. You'll find our latest premium picks here center of the page. Of course, we do have our best bets, our $15 promotional, multi-packs, and props. So go ahead and get signed up. You can save 20% off all premium pick packages when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access our page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab, get signed up. Always love hearing from you guys, so you can post your picks in the comments. And we are looking for cappers. Apply on that home page. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this one started. UCF and Cincinnati college football pick. This one here is on Saturday. UCF fell to 3-5 with their 41-28 home defeat to West Virginia. The Knights rushed for 189 yards. They allowed 286 yards rushing to the Mountaineers with 164 passing on 24 attempts. Central Florida had in this one a -3 turnover margin. John Rice Plumlee completed 25 of 26 passes for 274 yards with 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He rushed for 45 yards and a touchdown. Cincinnati fell to 2-6 with their 45-13 road defeat at Oklahoma State. Bearcats rushed for 277 yards on 50 carries. They surrendered 315 yards to the Cowboys with 286 passing yards on 34 attempts. Emory Jones, 6 of 16 passes for 117 yards with an interception. He averaged 7.3 yards per pass attempt. UCF is a high-volume running team that should run a clock here. Cincinnati is holding teams to 4 yards a carry and limit opposing quarterbacks to 55% passing percentage. UCF limits opposing quarterbacks to 56% completion rate, only 6.7 yards per pass attempt. The Bearcats in Big 12 games averaging 17 points per game and 5.3 yards per play. Cincinnati has committed multiple turnovers in 5 of their past 6 games. The Knights are also dealing with turnover issues in conference play here. UCF and Cincinnati under 59.5. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Oklahoma fell to 7-1 with their 38-33 road defeat at Kansas. Sooners rushed for 269 yards on 55 carries. They allowed 225 yards to the Jayhawks with 218 passing on 32 attempts. Each team had 3 turnovers. Dylan Gabriel completed 14 of 19 passes for 171 yards with an interception that went for a Kansas touchdown. He averaged 9 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 64 yards with 3 touchdowns. Oklahoma State improved to 6-2, a 45-13 home victory to Cincinnati. Cowboys rushed for 315 yards on 37 carries. They allowed 277 yards rushing to the Bearcats with 165 passing on 25 attempts. Alan Bowman, 17 of 34 passing for 286 yards with 2 touchdowns and an interception. Oklahoma State is 39th in total offense, averaging 429 yards a game, and they are rushing for 5.6 yards per rush. The Cowboys showed improvement in conference as they averaged 37 points and 494 yards a game. Past 3 games, the Sooners defense has given up 455 yards and 32 points a game. Play here Oklahoma State here plus the 6. Tulane and East Carolina college football pick. This one here on Saturday, all right, Tulane improved to 7-1 with their 30-28 road win at Rice. Green Wave rushed for 194 yards on 40 carries. They allowed 4.1 yards per rush to the Owls with 189 passing on 29 attempts. Michael Pratt, 22 of 30 for 263 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. He averaged 8.8 yards per pass attempt and had a rushing touchdown. East Carolina fell to 1-7, a 41-27 road defeat at UTSA. Pirates rushed for 141 yards on 35 carries. They allowed 120 rushing yards to the Roadrunners with 395 passing on 34 attempts. Alex Flynn hit 23 of 43 passes for 225 yards with 2 touchdowns and an interception. He averaged 5.2 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 53 yards. East Carolina 129th in total offense by averaging 288 yards a game. They rushed for 3.6 yards a carry with a passing game ranking near the bottom of college football in every key area. Tulane holds teams at 2.8 yards per rush, which means the Pirates will have trouble scoring and sustaining drives here. Green Wave has an efficient passing game and ECU inefficient in pass coverage. Play your Tulane minus 16.5. James Madison and Georgia State's college football pick. This one here on Saturday. James Madison improved to 8-0 after a 30-27 home victory at Old Dominion. Dukes rushed for 123 yards on 33 carries. They allowed 138 yards rushing to the Monarchs with 277 passing yards on 36 attempts. Jordan McLeod, 27 of 40 passes for 340 yards with 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He averaged 8.5 yards per pass attempt and had a rushing touchdown. Georgia State fell to 6-2, a 44-27 road defeat at Georgia Southern. Panthers rushed for 290 yards on 40 carries. They allowed 118 rushing yards to the Eagles with 334 passing on 36 attempts. Georgia State had 3 turnovers and took 1 away from Eagles. Darren Granger hit 21 of 37 passes for 157 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He rushed for 80 yards. JMU has an efficient passing attack. Georgia State struggles in pass defense by giving up big plays. The Dukes are 37th in total defense by allowing 337 yards a game and only 1.6 yards per rush. James Madison in conference play, holding teams at 17 points and 319 yards a game. Georgia State in conference allowing 402 yards per game. Play here James Madison at minus the 5.5. Coastal Carolina and Old Dominion college football pick. This one here is on Saturday. Coastal Carolina improved to 5-3, a 34-6 home victory at Marshall. Chanticleers a rush for 145 yards on 40 carries. They allowed 3.1 yards per rush to the Thundering Herd with 202 passing yards on 45 attempts. Coastal Carolina turned it over twice, forced 5 away from Marshall. Grayson McCall missed the game due to a head injury and is questionable. Jarrett Guest completed 14 of 20 passes for 289 yards with 3 touchdowns and an interception. He averaged 14.5 yards per pass attempt. Old Dominion fell to 4-4, a 30-27 road defeat at James Madison. Monarchs rushed for 138 yards on 43 carries. They allowed nearly 4 yards per rush to the Dukes with 340 passing on 40 attempts. Grant Wilson, 26 of 36 passes for 277 yards and 2 touchdowns. He averaged 7.7 yards per pass attempt. Chanticleers have an efficient passing attack. Old Dominion is giving up 66% completion rate, 7.6 yards per pass attempt. Old Dominion deals with quarterback accuracy issues and allow over 5 sacks a game, ranking 132nd in the nation. Chanticleers hold opposing quarterbacks to 56% passing. Coastal Carolina in conference games is averaging 460 yards a game. Play here will be Coastal Carolina -1. Penn State and Maryland college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Penn State is 7-1 after their 33-24 home victory. To the Indiana Hoosiers, the Nittany Lions rushed for 132 yards on 43 carries. They limit the Hoosiers to under 3 yards per rush with 269 passing yards on 19 attempts. Drew Alar, 20 of 31 passing for 210 yards with 3 touchdowns and an interception. He averaged 6.8 yards per pass attempt. Maryland drops to 5-3, a 33-27 road defeat at Northwestern. Terrapins rushed for 117 yards on 27 carries. They allowed 2.5 yards per run to the Wildcats with 265 passing yards on 23 attempts. Maryland had a -2 turnover margin. Talia Tagovailoa hit 20 in the game, hit 30 of 47 passes for 274 yards with 3 touchdowns and an interception. He averaged a season low of 5.8 yards per pass attempt and was sacked 6 times. Penn State second in total defense by allowing 234 yards a game. They hold teams at 2.3 yards per rush and are efficient in defending the pass. Penn State offensively struggles with quarterback efficiency. Maryland has seen their offensive production drop in conference. Last 3 games, they are averaging just under 23 points a game. Player will be Penn State and Maryland under 51. Illinois and Minnesota college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Illinois fell to 3-5 after their 25-21 home defeat to Wisconsin 2 weeks ago. The final Illini rushed for 223 yards on 45 carries. They allowed 4 yards per rush to the Badgers with 240 passing on 41 attempts. Luke Altmaier, 13 of 21 passing for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 4.8 yards per pass attempt and rushed for season high 100 yards. Minnesota improved to 5-3. A 27-12 home victory to Michigan State. Golden Gophers rushed for 200 yards on 50 carries. They allowed 5.1 yards per rush to the Spartans with 190 passing on 34 attempts. Minnesota survived a -2 turnover margin. Anthony Kalakmanis hit here on 14 of 22 passes for 200 yards with a touchdown and interception. Golden Gophers are 117th in total offense with issues running the football, quarterback accuracy, and efficiency. Illinois has been efficient in pass defense. Golden Gophers in the conference average just 292 yards a game. Player Illinois plus the 2. Auburn and Vanderbilt college football pick for Saturday. Auburn improved to 4-4 after a 27-13 home victory to Mississippi State. The Tigers rushed for 186 yards on 36 carries. They allowed 184 rushing yards to the Bulldogs with 161 passing on 34 attempts. Peyton Thorne, 20 of 26 passing for 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. He averaged 8.8 yards per pass attempt. Vanderbilt moved to 2-7, a 33-7 road defeat to Ole Miss. Commodores rushed for 169 yards on 44 carries. They allowed 4.5 yards per rush to the Rebels with 254 passing on 29 attempts. Ken Seals, 4 of 8 passing for 22 yards and an interception. He averaged only 2.8 yards per pass attempt. Vanderbilt is 118th in the nation in total defense by allowing 436 yards a game. Teams rush for 4.9 yards a carry on the Commodores and complete 69% of their passes on them. Auburn, a really good rushing team, 4.7 yards a carry this year. Vanderbilt rushes for only 3.4 yards a carry, and they really struggle with quarterback accuracy. Commodores have failed to cover 8 of 9. They are allowing 475 yards per game in the SEC and 5.6 yards per rush. Play here Auburn minus the 12.5. Charlotte and Tulsa college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Charlotte fell to 2-6 with a 38-16 home victory to FAU. 49ers rushed for 161 yards on 48 carries. They allowed 131 yards rushing to the Owls with 218 passing on 27 attempts. Jalen Jones, a 9 of 15 passing for 59 yards. He averaged 4.2 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 38 yards. Drexler Ivy saw work and went 8 of 15 for 68 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 4.5 yards per pass attempt. Tulsa fell to 3-5, a 69-10 road defeat at SMU. Golden Hurricane rushed for 123 yards on 47 carries. They allowed 192 yards rushing to the Mustangs with 446 passing yards on 29 attempts. Tulsa had a -2 turnover margin. Braylon Braxton, 10 of 20 passing for 92 yards and 2 interceptions. Charlotte has the 120th ranked offense in college football by averaging 209 yards per game. They run for 3.6 yards per rush and are inefficient in the passing game. Tulsa ranks 91st in total offense with struggles on the ground and with quarterback accuracy. Charlotte defends, holding teams to 345 yards a game. And the 49ers average only 10.5 points a game in conference. Past 3 games, Golden Hurricane averaging just 12 points per game. Play here will be on Charlotte and Tulsa under 48.5. UL Monroe and Southern Miss college football pick. This one here on Saturday. UL Monroe fell to 2-6 with their 34-24 home defeat to Arkansas State. Warhawks rushed for 148 yards on 35 carries. They surrendered 4.5 yards per rush to the Red Wolves with 298 passing on 30 attempts. Blake Murphy, 25 of 44 for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. He averaged 6.8 yards per pass attempt. Southern Miss fell to 1-7, a 48-38 road defeat to Appalachian State. Golden Eagles rushed for 301 yards on 43 carries. They allowed 180 yards rushing to the Mountaineers with 391 passing on 33 attempts. Billy Wiles, 23 of 41 passing for 287 yards with a touchdown. He averaged 7 yards per pass attempt. Both defenses poor here. UL Monroe does a good job of running the football by averaging 4.6 yards per run, while the Golden Hurricane allows 5.4 yards per rush. Play here UL Monroe plus 2.5. Hawaii and Nevada college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Hawaii fell to 2-7 after a 35-zip home defeat to San Jose State. Warriors rushed for just 52 yards on 20 carries. They allowed 217 yards rushing to the Spartans with 251 passing on 26 attempts. Hawaii had a -2 turnover margin. Braden Shager, 17 of 29 passing for 132 yards and an interception. He averaged 4.6 yards per pass attempt. Nevada improved to 2-6, a 34-24 home victory to New Mexico. Wolfpack in the game rushed for 180 yards on 48 carries. They held the Lobos to over 3.5 yards per rush with 317 passing yards on 40 attempts. Nevada had a +3 turnover margin on the strength of 3 interceptions. Brandon Lewis, 8 of 16 passing for 92 yards. He averaged 5.8 yards per pass attempt and rushed for 64 yards. Nevada defense is 120th in the nation by allowing 459 yards a game with 5.4 yards per rush attempt. They are allowing big plays in the passing game. Hawaii, poor defensive team, giving up 395 yards a game, 4.9 yards per run, and big plays also in the passing game. The Warriors' past 4 games allowed an average of 41 points a game. Play here Hawaiian and Nevada over 50. All right, that was our college football pick show here for week 10, part 3. We got you 11 games from Saturday's action. We'll continue to do these in parts. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have free college football picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from all the major sports like college basketball, like NBA. Of course, we have NHL, lots of live shows, lots of cappers giving out plays, making it a great time to subscribe. And also, if you want to support our channel, give us that like, that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. Remember, visit our site, TonySpace.com, for our best plays. Our premix are there. Use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You'll save that 20% off. And remember, our videos are brought to you by Rhythm. Great custom sports betting models right now at Rhythm. Take advantage of that 14-day free trial by signing up. You can download the app on the Google, Android, or Apple store. And with Rhythm, you bet smarter because you create your own models and they're your custom models. And Rhythm handles all the grunt work. All right, lots of live shows throughout the day. I'm Tony T. We'll talk to you guys later.